Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Marjorie, and today I'm going to use this adorable sign that says Christmas wishes and candy cane kisses with a little gnome on it. And I've got this mesh from Hobby Lobby, and then I've got this 10-inch wire wreath frame. It's from Craft Outlet. I've got two sets of ribbon. The candy cane ribbon is from Costco, and the other one is from Craft Outlet. So I've got these pipe cleaners, and because it's a smaller wreath frame, I'm actually going to do this a little bit different. So there I'm attaching a pipe cleaner on the bottom two rings on a crossbar. So I'm going to do that to each crossbar on the bottom two rings. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the middle and the inner ring, and I'm going to attach one in the middle there, in the middle between the two crossbars. So there's actually going to be a total of 8 pipe cleaners on this wreath. Now don't worry, this is not our standard 14-inch wreath, and it doesn't, maybe you don't think it's gonna be very full, but it will be. This is gonna be so full with one roll of deco mesh, and it's going to be gorgeous. You don't want to miss out on this. So here I am just attaching my middle pipe cleaner in between the crossbars, and I like to do just a 2 or 3 twists just to make sure it's on there pretty good. Now, since I got this from Craft Outlet, this is the wreath frame is a lot sturdier than the wreath frames that I normally get at Dollar Tree, and these, well, with the way I am, how tight I like to put them on here, they don't bend the wreaths or anything. So here what I'm going to do is, the sign actually has a couple of pre-drilled holes on the sides, and so I've got this floral wire that I'm cutting because that's what I'm going to attach to the sign, and that is what I'm going to use to attach the sign to the wreath. So there's the one hole, and I like to just make my my tails on everything even. That way when I start attaching things, I don't have to worry about one end coming up too short or not. So here I just give it a good couple of twists, and I do put it on there pretty tight, but not too tight to where I break my floral wire, because it will, and I've done it in the past. So what I'm going to do is, this is 10 yards, so it's a total of 360 LIs. Or, excuse me, I'm thinking about my other job. It's 360 inches, and so I'm just going to cut 8 of these pieces at 30 inches. And then what I'll do, and you'll see a little bit later, is that I will actually trim the rest of it, 8 pieces at 12 inches. And then, no, oh my goodness, I said that backwards. And I cut the other portion of it at 12 inches. And I cut 8 pieces of those. So here I'm doing the cruffle method, where I just roll it up a few times on one end, turn it over after I clip it, and then do the same thing, and then I just walk my fingers up the middle. Now once I get it there to where they meet, the folded ends meet, I just kind of walk my fingers up the middle there as well. And then I'm just going to give it a good couple of twists, and I'm going to show you one more time in slow motion how to do this. So I just do 2, 3. I do 3 when it's a longer length, like 30 inches. I typically do 3 rolls, and I do like to leave my curls on there pretty, well, more natural, to where I'm not curling it up too tight. So you see my curls are actually pretty nice and big. And so this was a pretty quick wreath to make, because I only had 8 of the pipe cleaners versus the 18 pipe cleaners. And so this wreath went by really quick. So if you want to make a really pretty wreath in a short amount of time, this is one that you would want to try to do. And like I said, once I get all of these 8 attached, I cut the other 8 at 12 inches, and then I just make a curl, and I attach one of those curls to each of the pipe cleaners. There is a little bit of the left on the roll, but not enough to do anything with, so I just let it go. So as you see, I'm just letting it curl up on itself. As you see at the end of the roll, it pretty much is pretty curly. So then I just pinch the middle, and I add it right on top of the pipe cleaner. I don't even open it, I just add it right on top. And you can see how big my curls are. They're real nice and fluffy, and that's how I like them. It makes your wreath look real nice. So here I'm taking the wire, the floral wire, and I'm feeding it through onto the frame. I'm trying to get it attached, not too tight, but tight enough. So I was trying to gauge and measure just to make sure everything was going to look good. And then here, one reason I like the fluffiness of the wreath is because you actually use that for your signs, and it helps your signs to stand out. So that's one of the reasons that you don't want to pull it in too tight, and you don't want it to have sunken in signs or anything like that. So I've already got 8 pieces of each of my 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch ribbon cut at 12 inches. And these tails are a little shorter than my normal 14, but this is a smaller wreath, so you don't really have to cut it at 14. If you want to, you can. That would still be just as beautiful. So off camera, I went ahead and dovetailed my 2.5 inch ribbons, and then I went ahead and just cut my 1.5 inch ribbon at a diagonal. Now that beautiful peppermint 1.5 inch ribbon did come from Costco, and that cute adorable present with the candy canes and the presents, that 2.5 inch ribbon came from Craft Outlet. So here I'm just trying to straighten and make sure everything looks good. And once I get them all in there, or actually I've kind of fluffed my ribbons as I go, and one of the reasons I crisscross my ribbons like I do right here is because it actually makes it a little bit easier when you're trying to add your ribbons and make sure they're nice and spread out so you can see them. And this is how this adorable wreath looks. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your day with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope that each and every one of you have a very blessed week.